Good morning, Exploring Foods with Smitty. Remember on I think it was my biscuit video, I told you to get your sack of flour because we were going to be making some things out of flour that you don't have to buy? Well, here's my bag of flour. I've already used a lot of it, but today we're going to be making homemade buttermilk pancakes. This is an easy recipe, and this is something you're not going to have to buy with this economy. And as expensive as things are, a bag of flour will take you a long way. So let me get my stuff together and I'll be right back.
Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start off with, well, let me give you the recipe first. The recipe calls for 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 egg, 1 1/8 cup of buttermilk, and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So let's go ahead and let's start with our cup of flour. It's going to be a cold day here today. How is you guys' weather? I know some people I was talking to, they were complaining and saying, oh, it's freezing here. It's 40 degrees. I'm like, yeah, 40 degrees is warm to us. Because I think we got down into the low, went into the 20s last night. Okay, so there's my cup of flour. And you know what? Back in the old days, when they cooked, they didn't buy stuff already made. They made it themselves, which made it taste good. And it was cheaper on the budget, which is what we got to do now. At least I do. Okay, so let's put in our tablespoon of salt. And no, this is not a measuring spoon, but I can kind of guess it. Now, how do you like your pancakes? Do you like your pancakes fluffy? Me personally, I like my pancakes flat. For some reason, fluffiness, I don't like it. Okay, so here's my baking soda. You don't use baking powder. Let me make sure. Right. You don't use baking powder. You use baking soda. Okay. So I've got everything in. All I need to do is give this a little stir so that it mixes together. Hopefully these will be flat pancakes and I won't have to flatten them myself. So put in my buttermilk. And if you don't have buttermilk, you can add lemon juice or vinegar to your milk, and that'll give you buttermilk. Okay, so let's give this a little stir around. Trying not to make the table shake. Okay, well, let's get an egg in there. And our melted butter. Pour, pour, pour. Okay, so let's get all this mixed together. Now, could you imagine how much pancake you can make out of a bag of flour? Quite a bit. As a matter of fact, you know what? I think I'll do a video on how to make syrup. My mom used to make ours. She used to make our syrup herself. She didn't do it all the time, but you know how sometimes you get up and you're out of something? She would just go to the cabinet, get some sugar, and she makes syrup. Okay, so I'm going to get this all mixed up. And when I come back, we're going to be cooking them. Okay, y'all. So I'm like working with a new, what would you call this, tripod. And I'm trying to get the gist of it. So if things are kind of off, that's why. Okay, so I got my pancake batter all mixed here. And once you get them mixed, you can make your pancakes about the same, any size that you want them. If you want them big, you can make them big. If you don't have to. Okay. So I got my mix all ready to go. There it is. Let's get some spray for the skillet. Okay. And I need a plate to put my pancakes on. Okay, honey buns, I'm ready. There's my plate. Let's give this a spray. Now, you don't have to necessarily use non-stick cooking spray. You can use butter if you like. Whew, that skillet is smoking. Something about this burner, I hate it. Okay, so let's pour some of our mix in here. Okay, so what we're going to do is let this cook. And you know, I think I will use butter. I think it works better. Okay, so I think you know how to cook pancakes, but just in case you don't, we're going to let this cook. And when you see bubbles come in there, you're going to know it's done. So let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. Give it a chance to finish cooking. Oh yeah, I've been wanting some pancakes for a long, long time. Come on, cookie, cookie, cookie. This is a recipe when you have all of those guests down for Christmas. You can use this recipe to make pancakes for Christmas morning. I don't know why this thing seems to be cooking slow, but let's take a glance. Ooh, cooking up just like I like them. I'm going to flip this. There we go. And you know what? It's not a really fluffy pancake, which is not what I like. Nice and crusty. What I'm going to do is go ahead and get my pancakes cooked up. And then I'm going to cook me some bacon and eggs to go with this. And when we come back, we'll be trying our pancake breakfast. See you in a bit. Well, no, see you at the table.
Okay, so here's my breakfast. And I am ready to try it. Believe me, I'm starving. So let's sit down. Ugh. Let me get a little more butter put on here. Because I'm excited to try these pancakes. And you know what? I usually don't like fluffy pancakes. And it's like, because these didn't use baking powder, they're not as fluffy. Let's get that butter on there. Okay. Let's put us a little syrup on. This is, it's a strong syrup, and this is rye barrel-aged maple syrup. You can see that. Okay, so let's get some on. I usually don't like my syrup on my pancakes. I like to dip. Okay. All right, so let's give these babies a try. Homemade buttermilk pancakes. You know what? I would go as far as to say they're perfect. They're not real fluffy because I don't like fluffy pancakes. They're really good. Very, very good. And you can taste the buttermilk in them. So, guys, give this a try. Like I said, it beats having to buy pancake mix, and it's easier to do when you can just make it from your flour. So, thank you for joining me on this edition of Pancakes from Flour. And I'll be back with some more recipes of things that you can make out of flour. Make sure you go get you a bag so you can join. Alrighty, see you later.